What is up, y'all? Welcome back to Dee's Corner. Y'all like my nails? Look at my nails. My guy Luxury Nails in Sylvester, Georgia did a very good job as usual. I love him, love him, love him for it. They are on fleek. I feel like a badass bitch. Y'all like my kimono that I got from Walmart, minus my turban that I got a long while back. I feel like a sassy house mama right now. Clean up them dishes. Clean up that floor. I feel like a ratchet house mama right now. Well, sexy house mama at that. But besides all that, better yet, I make a sexy house mama if I do say so myself. But yeah. Besides all that, I'm back at y'all with yet another video. Sorry if I haven't really been uploading like that. It's because, I've been working and stuff like that, and work has took a lot out of me and stuff like that. But I know damn well payday, my check is gonna be on fleek, hunty. How you doing? Like it's gonna look on fleek, honey. But yeah, I've been not uploading due to work and stuff like that. But I'm back with yet another video. Happy Memorial Day to all. And in today's video, what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be discussing my top unforgettable moments working in the healthcare field. Now, if you've been subscribed to me for a while, you know I used to be a CNA. I'm fixing to put the definition of that word right here on the screen. It stands for Certified Nursing Assistant, and basically what we do, we basically take care of the residents' basic needs, like bathing them, dressing them, feeding them, etc. The only thing we don't do is give out medicine because that's the nurse's job. And like I said, I'm just going to be discussing my not top five, but my most unforgettable moments that I can think of from working in the healthcare field. Now, number one. This right here, oh my God. This right here is funny as hell. Oh my God. So this is back when I was working at Shady Pines, not the real name of the nurse home, but I'm just going to call it Shady Pines. This is back when I was working at Shady Pines and stuff like that. I remember it was me, a girl that I had went to school with, that I graduated with. I'm going to call her Candy, and another girl I'm going to name Beatrice. So I remember we were doing our rounds, and if you're a CNA or if you're thinking about becoming a CNA, basically what rounds are is when you've gotten all the residents up for their day and you just basically just put them back to bed and just basically just clean them up for the next shift. So we were all doing our rounds and stuff like that, and there was this man who I'm going to say his name was Mr. Vent, because the vent on in him. I'm just going to say his name was Mr. Vent. And there was his lady who I'm going to say her name was Miss Doll. So I remember me, Candy, and Beatrice, we were all doing our rounds, and we happened to walk past Mr. Vent's door, and his door was open quite a sliver and stuff like that. And I was thinking to myself, what's going on here? Because I had that man that day because I was responsible for him for cleaning him and stuff like that. So someone told all three of us to go in that room, and we slowly pushed the door open. Tell me why the privacy curtain was pulled, because the privacy curtain, if you clean up the resident and stuff like that, you just want privacy so people won't see them being clean and stuff like that. But I know another CNA was in that room because I had that room and no nurse was in that room either. So I remember his privacy curtain was pulled and I had seen two wheelchairs to the side and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So I remember Candy, she was the first one to walk in and saw that, and she had peeked around the curtain, and her cute little country voice, she was like, what are y'all doing in here? And then Miss Dawg, she was laying back on the bed, she was like, none of your damn business. Let me tell y'all, this man, he was hunched over the side of the bed, and he had his pants down, and he was wearing a pull-up. He had his pants and his pull-up down and stuff like that, exposing his ass. And Miss Dawg, thank God she didn't get undressed, but she was laid back on the bed and stuff like that. She was fully clothed. They was about to get their freak on, y'all. I think myself well, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of want to see them get their freak on. I ain't gonna lie. They're not hurting anybody. Why not let them get their freak on? But hey, we're CNAs, we have to do our job, we don't want to get fired or anything like that. So yeah, we immediately had broke them up and stuff like that. I think it was either me or Beatrice or Candy and Beatrice, I don't know, but one of us had helped Mr. Vent back to his chair and stuff like that. He was trying to fight. He's like, God damn it. And so his country voice was like, God damn it. He's trying to fight them and stuff like that. And we put him back in his chair and stuff like that. And Miss Doll, we had put her back in her chair and stuff like that. And I think either Candy or Beatrice had pushed Miss Doll to her room, and we had pushed Mr. Vent out the room and stuff like that. But these people was about to get their freak on. And the fun fact is, Mr. Vent's wife, Mrs. Vent, she was in the same nursing home as him. Like, my dude, you about to cheat on your wife. Like, the fuck? Well, you almost cheated, but you was about to cheat on your wife. Like, the hell? Like, come on now. Like, I kind of wanted to see them get their freak on. I ain't gonna lie. That would have been funny. That would have been funny as hell. Or a good scene to watch. I ain't gonna lie. But, you know, I'm a goody two-shoes and I don't want to get in trouble. So, yeah, that's one unforgettable moment. Number 2. Now, this one is more on the serious side. Now, let me start off by saying this. If you're a CNA, or if you're thinking about becoming a CNA, I don't know how it is now, but this is how it was when I was a CNA, when I first started. If you're not a licensed CNA yet, see, I had took my CNA classes at the nursing home and they were free. So therefore I was a student. And anytime you're a student in training, you cannot be seen giving care to a resident without a licensed CNA present. Because if by any chance you are seen giving care to a resident without a licensed CNA present, and something were to jump out between you and that resident, the CNA you're supposed to be with could lose their license and you won't be able to get yours. I just want to put that out there. I don't know how it is now, but that's just how it was when I was a CNA. Anytime you're a student, you cannot be seen giving care to a resident without a licensed CNA present. Because like I said, if something jumps out between you and a resident, you won't be able to get your license, and the CNA you're supposed to be with could lose theirs. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. So I remember on this particular day, I was with an older male CNA. I don't think he's no longer a CNA, but I was with an older male CNA. I'm going to say his name was Kyle. I'm going to say his name was Kyle. And me and him, we were responsible for, we were responsible for, I think either we were cleaning them up or getting them up for dialysis. I don't know, but we were responsible for cleaning up this man. I'm going to say his name was Mr. Ball. I'm just going to say his name was Mr. Ball. And I remember, you know, when I had got licensed and stuff like that, like I had his room and alongside his roommate and stuff like that, and I used to get him up for dialysis when he had to go to dialysis. So I remember we were just cleaning him up for that day and stuff like that. And for some reason, Mr. Bob, he was just acting like really mean that day and stuff like that. Like he was acting like real hostile and stuff like that. And he had already had long fingernails and stuff like that. He was pointing his finger in Kyle's chest and stuff like that, being mean to him. And Kyle had got mad and stuff like that. He had got his stuff. Well, Kyle, he had like a drawstring book bag with stuff in it and stuff like that. So he got his drawstring book bag and had walked out the room, and I was right behind him and stuff like that. So I think either the next day or a couple of days later and stuff like that, I remember somebody had told me that Kyle had got suspended. And anytime you're suspended, you know, and anytime you're suspended and stuff like that, you know, that means, you know, anytime you're suspended, that means a resident has made an allegation against you and they have to look into it, otherwise they could get sued. Or some other situation jumped off. But Kyle, he was suspended. And I was like, what? Like, what happened? They told him that Mr. Bob had made an allegation against him and stuff like that. And I remember there was another CNA that had took the CNA class with me. I'm going to say her name was Angelina. She was bummed because she wanted to work with Kyle today. She was like, man, I wanted to work with Kyle today. And she was bummed, and I was bummed too because he was a good CNA. And I remember the administrator that had hired me at the time, I'm going to say her name was Becky. She had called me in the office. She was a very, very, very nice, pretty blonde, blue-eyed lady. Like, she was so nice. She was the one that hired me. Like, she was super, super, super nice. But yeah, I remember I went to the administrator's office and stuff, and they basically wanted my account as to what happened because Kyle had got suspended. And I just basically told him that Kyle was just doing his job and Mr. Bob was just acting real hostile and mean and stuff like that. I said something along them lines and stuff, and I was just went on my way, and that was that. And I remember either a couple of weeks later, or I think it was a couple of weeks later or something like that. I remember Kyle had came back and stuff like that, and he basically thanked me for having his back. So I said all that to say this. Anytime a resident makes an allegation against you, like I said, it's their job to look into it, otherwise they could get sued. And that's a prime example. If you're thinking about becoming a CNA, or if you're already a CNA, you know people can be cruel. There are residents that are going to lie on you and stuff like that. And basically, 9 times out of 10, even if they're lying or if they're telling the truth, like I said, it's their job to look into it, otherwise they could get sued. So yeah, just a little heads up if you're a CNA or thinking about becoming a CNA. Now number 3, let me see this one. Oh yeah, this was after I had left Shady Pines and I was working at Easy Rest Retirement Home. So there's this man I was seeing about, I'm gonna say his name was Mr. Turner, God rest his soul now. But I remember I was pushing him. I was pushing his wheelchair because I think I had took him outside that day. I can't remember. And I was just basically just pushing him back inside and stuff like that. And there was his lady. I forgot her name and stuff like that. And I remember she was holding her arms out for some reason to give me a hug and stuff like that. It's funny now that I think about it. But she was holding her arms out and stuff like that to give me a hug and stuff like that. And I remember Mr. Turner, he grabbed her by her heels and he went like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, like he was fucking her and stuff like that. And me and the other 2 nurses that was there, we just busted out laughing. That was too funny. And fun fact, see, with Easy Rest Retirement Home, it has another facility up the road. There's Easy Rest Retirement Home, and the other one, I'm gonna say it's Easy Living. And fun fact is, his wife was up the street at Easy Living. Like, my dude, like, you kind of metaphorically cheating on your wife. But that was funny as hell. Oh my God. I just had to throw that one in there. That was funny as hell. Now, number 4. Let's see. Let us see. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I cannot think of another one. Let me see. Number four. Let me just scan my memory banks right quick, y'all. Let me see. Oh yeah. Yes. There's this man who's still alive up to this day. I'm gonna say his name is Mr. Bloom. And Mr. Bloom, he's basically one of those active residents that, you know, he can walk and stuff like that, but he's at risk for falling. And you know, the CNAs and the nurses have like a little alarm on the back of his chair in case he gets up so people can sit him down because he's at risk for falling. And I remember there are times every day, I don't know why this man used to do that, and he still does do that, but every time somebody was around, he'd stand up out of his wheelchair and stuff like that, and he'd pull his pants down and flash everybody. Like, he'd flash everybody. Now, I ain't gonna lie now, Mr. Bloom kind of had a package on him, Hunty. How you doing? But really, dude, like, don't nobody really want to see that early in the morning or late in the afternoon, like, really. But I remember, oh, my eye itching. I remember there was this lady who I'm going to say her name was Miss Air. I'm going to say her name was Miss Air. And her husband, Mr. Air, he was in a nursing home, and I was responsible for seeing about him. And I remember Miss Air, she was in the hallway for some reason stuff. I think she turned to leave and stuff like that. And I think Mr. Bloom, he was coming up behind her and stuff like that. She turned around and she had seen him walking with his pants down and stuff around his ankles. And she looked like this. She was like, and she grabbed me. She's like, can you please tell that man to pull his pants up? Like, Really, dude? Like, why you gonna flash people? Why you gonna flash people when? Why you gonna flash somebody when people's family members is coming in? Like, really, dude? But hey, like, it became a regular thing with Mr. Bloom. Like, every time that used to happen and stuff like that, like I used to take him in his room and pull his pants up and all that stuff. So yeah, that's number 4. Number 5. Let's see what we're going to talk about for number 5. Let us see. Oh yeah. Again, this right here is going to be another serious subject. Like I had said when I had told the story about what happened with Kyle and Mr. Bob. Anytime a resident makes an allegation against you, it's their job to look into it, otherwise they could get sued. Now, I remember there was this man, either he had one leg or I don't think he had one leg. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he had one leg. His name, God rest his soul, I'm going to say his name was Mr. Zeus. I'm just going to say his name was Mr. Zeus. And he was kind of like an overweight man and stuff like that, but he could move around his bed when needed. He had like a pee bag and everything. No, not a pee bag, a catheter bag. He had a catheter bag and everything, but he was able to move around and stuff like that. So I remember on that particular day, there were two hallways, there were two wings at Shady Pines. There was wing 1 and wing 2. I was working on wing 2 that day. And I remember the CNA on wing 2, the lead CNA, I'm going to say her name was Shauna. She is a doll. Love her, love her. I'm going to say her name was Shauna. So I remember she had pulled me aside and told me that I had to go to wing 1. And I was like, really? Why? And stuff like that. No. One of the nurses had pulled Shauna aside and told her that I had to go to wing 1 and stuff like that. And you know, they kind of were in an uproar and stuff like that because, you know, they barely had any help on wing 2 and stuff like that day. And basically one of the nurses, who I'm going to say his name was Billy. Oh, wait. I don't know if that was a real nurse name that worked there. I'm just going to say his name was Mr. Nurse. And Mr. Nurse, he had pulled Shauna to the side and basically just told her the situation and stuff like that. And Shauna had came back and she got me and basically had said that, okay, Dawn, they had called me Dawn there because, fun story. I remember when I was working at McDonald's, you know, people used to, people still butcher my name here and there and stuff like that. But, you know, when I was working at McDonald's and stuff like that, you know how motherfuckers try to be shady and stuff like that. See, there was a guy that worked there that had a name that was similar as me and stuff like that. And plus, he was also a gay guy and stuff like that. And I used to think they was trying to slick pick at me and stuff like that. And I always vowed to myself, the next job that I get, I'm going to tell people to call me Dawn. Because I do not like people butchering my name. So yeah, they had called me Dawn at that job. And she had pulled me aside and had said, Dawn, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you got to go to wing 1. And I was like, why? Because, what I say his name was? Mr. Zeus. She had said, Mr. Zeus had made up well, she didn't say that. She had said, they want you to go on wing 1 due to the fact that Mr. Zeus had said X, Y, and Z about you and stuff like that. And you know, they have to do an investigation. So they just had told him to go on wing 1 until the investigation is handled. So I remember I was working on wing 1 for the time being and stuff like that. And I remember either it was a couple of weeks later or a month later, I don't remember, but I remember one of the nurses, I'm going to say her name was Patrice. She had told me, she was like, Dawn, you can go back on wing 2 now, except when you get in Mr. Zeus' room, take the nurse in there with you. So I remember I went back to wing 2 and stuff like that, and basically I was just doing my normal residence, doing my normal rounds and stuff like that. When I came to Mr. Zeus' room, I kept begging the nurses like, I need somebody to come in the room with I need someone to come in the room with me. I need someone to come in the room with me so I could do Mrs. Zeus, so they can watch me give care and stuff like that. And on this particular day, you know, the nurses, they had a lot going on and stuff like that. And none of them wanted to help me and stuff like that. And I just kept telling them, oh no, I need someone to go in the room with me. I need someone to go in the room with me. And I remember there were some days where some other CNAs, they're not busy, they come in the room with me. There would be some nurse that would come in the room with me and stuff and watch me give care of Mr. Zeus. But on this particular day, like, everybody was just out of it and stuff like that. And I remember there was one lady, she was a blonde lady. I'm gonna say her name is Miss Spelling because she kind of like she could be Tori Spelling's mother for some reason. And I remember I kept telling her, like, Miss Spelling, like, I need someone to come in the room with me and stuff like that. She was like, I gotta do X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. And she kind of snapped. She was like, they need to take you out of that room. And then she said something else and then she walked off. And I'm thinking to myself, people, oh my God, it's not rocket science. I'm just simply asking someone to come in the damn room with me and watch me give care. It's not that hard. It's not like I'm asking you for euthanasia or asking you to do my job for me or something like that. I'm just simply asking you to come in the room with me and watch me give care. It's not that hard. But of course I didn't say that because I was kind of a little soft-spoken then and stuff like that. But yeah, that's one incident. And I forgot to tell you, I remember one day I was walking around and asking people, can they come in the room with me to watch me give care to Mr. Zeus? And I remember Mr. Zeus, he had called me in the room and told me, he's like, you don't have to have a witness in here, man. We're cool. Or he said something along them lines, but dude, like, you ain't finna trick me like that. Like, my job means everything to me, and you ain't finna take it away from me and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's one instant. And this one, oh my God, has to be the funniest of all. So, like I said, if you're a CNA or if you're thinking about becoming a CNA, you're going to be on a kiosk. And basically what a kiosk is basically the new school way of doing things. It's basically electronically documenting the things that the resident has. It's basically electronically documenting everything the resident has done throughout the day. Whether they used the bathroom, whether they didn't, whether they ate, etc. Basically electronically documenting the resident's daily activities. So, and there were kiosks planted all around the nursing home and stuff. And I remember it was my time to go and stuff like that. And I remember I was in the cafeteria, I was doing my kiosk. And there's this man, God rest his soul now. I'm going to say his name was Mr. Norway. And I remember, and he kind of like was a sickly, elderly man in a way because, you know, he was on an oxygen tank and I think he was on hospice too. But yeah, he was just pedaling his way into the cafeteria. I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought he just wanted to come in the cafeteria just because. And I remember I was just doing my kiosk, not paying him any mind and stuff like that. And I remember this man, he had locked his wheelchair and he had slowly stood up. And I thought he was fixing to try to walk because I was fixing to sit him down and stuff like that. But I thought he just wanted to stand up just to stretch his legs and stuff like that. I thought he was either fixing to try to walk or try to go in the back to where the food is prepared and stuff. And I was prepared to sit him down, but he was just standing there for a while. So I went back to do my kiosk. And I remember, oh my God, I hope this video don't get demonetized. But I remember he unzipped his pants and he had pulled out his thing and he had pissed right there on the cafeteria floor. Now, I should have stopped him. I should have, but it was my time to go anyways. And hey, I'm about to leave. That's y'all job. In my Tiffany voice from That's a Raven, handle it. Handle it. Like, that's y'all job, so handle it. So he was pissing and he had got finished. And I remember I had got one of the nurses at the Wing 1 nursing station and stuff like that. I'm going to say her name was Merida because she had pretty curly red hair and stuff like that. And she wore glasses and stuff like that. I think she had wrote me and some other CNAs up one time because we didn't get our vital signs. But whatever, she was a dog. I'm going to say her name was Merida. And I told Merida, I was like, hey Merida, Mr. Norway, he had peed all over the cafeteria floor. And she had looked at me. She was like, really? Great. And she had got up from her position behind the nurse's desk and she had got a sheet from the little linen rack and stuff like that. And she just basically just put on some gloves, and she just had threw the sheet on the pee and stuff like that, and basically was getting it up and stuff, and just put it in a bag and then threw it in the dirty linen closet. And I think Mr. Norway had went on his way after that. So yeah, that's pretty much about all the stories about the most unforgettable moments that I could think of that happened with me in the nursing home field, or the healthcare field, or the healthcare field rather. So that concludes this video. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to link all my social media accounts in the description box down below, so feel free to add and follow me on those. Also, don't forget to turn that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. Peace out, and happy Memorial Day to all.